Technology. All right. Hello, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be talking about manufactured discontent and how this manufactured discontent can lead to us feeling like we're never achieving the goals that we want to achieve. We're never becoming our highest self. We're never finding our highest life path. We're not getting where we need to go and being who we need to be. And it can lead us to feeling like we're never able to be happy in our lives, and we're never able to be satisfied in our lives, and we're never able to feel like our lives are enough, or even it blocks us from being able to find joy and contentment and fulfillment along our life path, and it makes us feel like we need to be constantly achieving, constantly leveling up, constantly finding some new level of awesomeness, and that if we aren't, that we aren't living our purpose, and we aren't living our design, and we aren't doing what we're supposed to be doing. And I know that a lot of us kind of understand this manufactured discontent in the context of kind of like the regular secular world, because we talk about that a lot on this channel, about the idea of the nothing is ever enough, and how kind of consensus reality is constantly feeding that to us, that you're never rich enough, you're never powerful enough, you're never far enough ahead in your career, you're never beautiful enough, you're never thin enough, you're never fit enough, you're never whatever it is enough that it actually counts, or that you can be happy, or that you can feel secure, or that you can feel good about yourself. And I think, like I say, a lot of us are waking up to that idea in the regular world, and we're saying, okay, yeah, like maybe I don't need to be striving for more money, maybe I don't need to be striving for more beauty, maybe I don't need to be striving to be whatever, changing my body, or whatever it is that the secular world tells us we're supposed to be in order to be good enough. And we're in the spirituality world, and we're in the self-help world, and we're in the personal growth world, and we feel like that's a totally different thing. Like our striving to be more mature, or our striving to be more emotionally poised, or our striving to have a better relationship, or our striving to have a healthier body, or a more, calm mind, or whatever it is that we're striving for in our spirituality and our personal growth and our self-help, we think of that as something like totally different, right? Like we're supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be bettering ourselves. We're supposed to be evolving. We're supposed to be becoming our higher selves. And with this, I feel like we can often get into this place where we're looking around, and we're looking at Instagram, and we're looking at all these, our gurus and our masters and our teachers and all of these people. And there is, in these areas of life, the same kind of message that we're getting in the secular world, which is, you're not enough yet. You're not healed enough. You're not evolved enough. You're not transcended enough. You're not healthy enough. You're not living your purpose enough. You're not satisfied enough. And there's this idea that when you're truly living your right life, and when you're living your most high vibe life, and when you're doing what you should be doing, and you're experiencing the right way, there's these messages that either you're kind of like on a highlight reel all the time, like that your relationships, your body, your work, just every day you wake up and you just feel like you have this passion and this purpose and this drive, and you're amazingly happy and feeling like you're fulfilled all the time. Or there's this message that you should be like emotionally poised all the time, and have this like abiding sense of peace, and this abiding sense of knowing, and this abiding sense of trust in yourself and in the universe, and that like nothing can shake you and nothing can rock you. That you're supposed to be having this like blissful experience in your body all the time. That you're supposed to have this like passionate, fiery, romantic, like epic relationship or relationships 24/7. Like they're supposed to be just like this ever evolving love and abundance and transcendence in your sex life, in your relationship, in your communication, in your whatever it is. And again, like there's this message that if you're not feeling amazing 24/7, that if you're not like high on life 24/7, if you're not having this like peak experience all the time. And I think too that even this idea of like alignment, and that when we're in alignment, our lives are supposed to feel like this like serendipitous, something magical is happening all the time. Like we're seeing angel numbers and we're hitting every green light and everything that we want is coming to us magically somehow, and it's just like this, the angels are singing 24/7, and we're supposed to be experiencing this like blissed out, blissful experience all the time. And a lot of us aren't experiencing that, right? We're doing our work, we're doing our healing work, we're doing our trauma work, we're doing our spirituality work, we're doing our emotional mastery work, we're trying to treat our bodies the best we can, we're trying to evolve our communication, we're doing all this stuff. And we're constantly feeling like we're failing, or like it's not good enough, or like no matter what we achieve, no matter what we get to, no matter what level we rise to, no matter what kind of awesome thing happens in our life, we eventually have a non-highlight reel day. We have a non-highlight reel week. We have a non-highlight reel month. And we start to think and we start to feel like we must be doing something wrong. Like we must be off path. We must be not healing enough, not working enough, not doing it enough. Maybe our relationship isn't right. Maybe our job isn't right. Maybe the way that we're eating isn't right. All of these things. Maybe our spiritual practice isn't right, or maybe we're not doing it enough, or we're not doing it diligently enough, or whatever it is, because we're not having these magical lives that people are telling us we're supposed to be having. And this is what I wanted to talk about today. That just like in the regular world, in the spirituality, self-help, self-improvement, personal growth world, we have to understand first and foremost, and this is like a painful realization for a lot of us, but it is the reality. It is a business just like everything else. The personal growth, self-help, spirituality world is not this pure outside of capitalism, everything is being spoken from this like pure, genuine, true place, and it's totally outside of the consensus reality system. We are still living in a world where essentially everything at this point has been monetized. Everything has been brought into this field of capitalism, and therefore we have to assume and we have to understand that there can be so much truth and so much value and so much reality in the spirituality, self-help, personal growth stuff that we're taking in. And this isn't to say throw it all out and get rid of all of it because it's all capitalism. It's not. But it is to say we have to be aware that that capitalistic mindset and this is monetized by someone or something is a factor. Okay? We really have to be honest with ourselves. With all of the spiritual teachers and the spiritual guides and the self-help and self-improvement people that are out there. No matter how earnest and honest and authentic and true their message is, they are still a part of capitalism. And the way that capitalism functions is that we can never actually feel satisfied or good enough, because then we can't sell the next thing. Okay? The way that capitalism functions is that we can never feel satisfied, good enough, like we've gotten there, enough, because then how are they going to sell the next thing? Right? Capitalism functions on there always being a next level. There always being a next thing. There always being something else we need. There always being a need that's not being met that can be met by a product, good, or service. Okay, so when we understand that we're living in that structure and that everything that's being offered to us is coming to us from that structure, we can start to take a step back and say, okay, yes, all of us are going to be on a growth path. And I talk about this all the time, right? We are, as long as we are alive, forever and ever, going to be growing, learning, changing, evolving, and expanding. Okay? We are always going to be growing, learning, changing, evolving, and expanding. That is the way of being alive. And I want you to understand that literally just by being alive, you don't have to seek out growth, evolution, change, and expansion. Because life will be constantly challenging you in new ways, because the only constant in life is change. Right? We need to understand that we as a human race and as a human species don't need to be pushing ourselves to be constantly in a state of growth, because we are constantly already in a state of growth. A lot of growth and a lot of evolution and a lot of change comes from simply being willing to show up for the life circumstances that are happening for us, being willing to show up for what information is available to us right now, and going with it, accepting it, learning from it, right? We so much of the time, we don't need, now I'm not saying never, but I'm saying a lot of the time, we don't need to be pushing ourselves to going to seminars and reading all these books and listening to a million YouTube videos and where's my next growth level and what's my next thing and what's the next thing I need to be doing. Because, like I say, life is offering all of us tons of opportunities for growth and expansion and evolution just in the everyday little nitpicky little things that happen for us. So that's part of this, is understanding that this idea that we need to be constantly pushing ourselves to our next level in order to get to our next level, in order to get to our higher selves, in order to get to our evolved being, is a capitalist lie. That's not reality. And it's part of us not, so here's the kind of like overarching message that I want to give here, okay? A true life of growth, a true life of expansion and finding your higher self and all of these things, it's a slow burn. And I don't think that anyone ever wants to like say that, because it's not sexy and it's not glamorous and it doesn't sell products well. But the truth is, a true life lived, a life lived that's going to feel, and when I say true, this is what I mean by that, is that you are going to feel like your life had purpose and your life had meaning on the path. Okay, because again, a huge part of why so many of us feel discontent all the time is because we're waiting for an after that's either going to be a moment in time in our lives or it's never going to be a thing. We're saying, I'm not going to feel good, I'm not going to feel content, I cannot feel any of the things that I want to feel about myself or about my life until I achieve this very specific highlight reel thing. And that is going to fulfill me, and that is going to satisfy me, and when I have that thing, I'm going to feel how I want to feel, and I'm going to be living how I want to live. And I can't feel good, and I can't have my life until this happens. And I fully understand that. And for a lot of us, the thing that we want, it's not illegitimate. Okay, because like I say, I'll give an example from my own life. Being someone who was sick and still is sick, but who was really sick and really traumatized and had a lot of things that were not good in my life. I also, for many, many years, lived saying, I will not be happy, I cannot feel good, I cannot feel satisfied, I'm not living my purpose, I'm not being who I'm supposed to be, I'm not living my right life, until my body is healed, until I have reached this very specific thing in my career, and until my relationship looks like this. And I lived my life like that. And I think that, like, a lot of us, that sounds and feels completely legitimate. Like, we're not saying, like, well, I'm not saying I need to have $1 million before I'm happy. I'm not saying I need to win the Oscar before I'm happy. Like, of course that's ridiculous. I'm saying my body is in pain right now, and I can't be happy until it's better. And that's completely reasonable because I'm in pain, obviously. I'm saying I don't have a good relationship right now, and it's causing me pain, and therefore I can't be happy until it's better. I'm saying I want to know what my purpose is, and there has to be some achievement in my career where I know that this is happening, and until that happens, I cannot be happy. And that makes such logical sense to us. Because the thing that we're experiencing, it seems and looks broken. It looks bad. It's not how we want it to be. It's causing us pain. And you're like, Allie, aren't you always saying, if something is causing you pain, that means it's out of alignment, and so you have to fix it? And what I'm going to say is, again, there's a complete difference. There's a big difference between understanding that there are things in our lives that we want to heal, things in our lives that we want to improve, things in our lives that have room for growth, that are currently causing us pain, that aren't the best thing ever. Understanding that and being able to hold at the same time that if we can't find satisfaction, happiness, joy, meaning, purpose, value in where we're at right now, I promise you, even if you get the thing, you're not going to be able to feel purpose, joy, satisfaction, freedom in that either. Because these two things, having the things we want in life and being able to feel like our lives mean something and that we're good enough and that we're living a life that is on purpose, don't intersect. Not the way that we think that they do. And again, I know a lot of us are really resistant to that idea because we can hear, then you're saying I'm supposed to be completely happy and fine with this shitty thing that hurts me. Like, fuck you. I'm sick. My body is sick. I'm not living my purpose. I'm not living the life that I want. I don't have the relationship I want. Stop telling me I'm supposed to be happy right here. I hear you. Okay? I totally hear you. And like I said, I've been there. I know what that's like. I am chronically ill. I know what it feels like. I was really, really traumatized, and my relationships were awful for a long time. I know what it feels like. I'm not telling you that your pain isn't real, and I'm not telling you not to continue to seek making things better. What I am saying is that there is a way to find that feeling of good enough, that you are good enough. There is a way of finding that feeling that you are living your life of purpose. There is a way of feeling like you are in alignment and that your life means something, regardless if you ever achieve the perfect, healed, transcended, awesome thing you're looking for. Okay? Because, again, how I define a life of purpose, how I define a life of meaning, that has brought me a lot of peace and contentment within shitty circumstances that I couldn't do anything about sometimes, or shitty circumstances that took a really, really, really long time for me to heal. was understanding that this was my life right now. And as cheesy and corny and sappy as this sounds, being sick kind of was a blessing in some ways, because there were some days where I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to survive. Like, I don't know if I'm going to keep living. I don't feel like I'm guaranteed this future where everything gets better. I don't know that I'm going to last that long. And so I realized for myself in those moments that it was like, if I don't find a way to feel like I'm living my purpose and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that this life is the life I'm supposed to be living here, I might not get the opportunity to do it over there. There might not be an over there. And even if I get there, like I said, what's going to actually be so different over there? I will feel better. I will have these things. But does that mean I'm a different person? Does that now mean that I'm valuable over there and I'm not over here? Does that, like, why does my life only count when I've reached this level of perfection? And why does it not count when I'm on the journey? Right? Like, how does that make sense? And then the second thing was understanding that the only way I was going to get to that level of perfection, if that level of perfection was even possible to get to, was through taking a journey. So why, again, does all of this stuff up to the Oscar moment not count as purpose, not count as the path, not count as being on it, if the only way to get to that Oscar moment is to walk this path? Like, that's what I started to understand. Is it was like, this is the life I have right now. This is the only life I have available to me. If I could be at that perfected state, I would. If I could snap my fingers, if there was something I could be doing to get myself to just be in that painless, awesome, healed after state, I would. And I would sit there and say, okay, right? Is there something I could be doing that would make it so that I'd be there? And realistically, actually, is there a thing I could do? Is there like an answer that I have that I'm just not doing it? Is there a thing I can do that I'm just not doing? Is there a shift I can make that I'm just not making? And if the answer was I don't know, the answer was no. Right? Because if you did know, if you had the step, if you had the thing, you've probably tried it. You've probably done it. If you could be there, you would be there. So that is actually not an option for you right now. And embracing that and understanding that right here, right now, we can't get to the Oscar moment can be hard, and we're going to be upset, and then we say, okay, but right here, right now, again, this is my life right here, right now. And being able to hold these paradoxes is something that I think is so worth the investment of time and effort. Because we live in a world of black and whites. We live in a world of simplification. We live in a world where everyone is saying either. You need to be constantly striving, constantly going, constantly whatever, keep reaching for these higher potentials. And that's what living a life of purpose is. Or completely let everything go and just be happy where you are. And we're going to find that both of these, trying to just be totally happy and satisfied in whatever and not try and change anything, to just find peace in whatever, a lot of us are going to realize that, like, okay, well, that leads to stagnancy. That leads to accepting things that aren't actually good for me, that I do have control over. That leads to a life where I'm not embracing the growth that's actually being offered to me by life right now. That leads to a life of discontent, where we're constantly trying to convince ourselves to be okay with things we're not actually okay with. But on the flip side, this life leads to us literally never feeling good enough. Literally never feeling joy in anything that we do. Never feeling accomplished, never feeling like we're there, because there's always another level. Like, even if we heal our body, okay, well, now you have to make your body strong. And now you have to make your body do this thing. And now you have to make your body do that thing. And now you have to make your body biohacked. And you have to make it ageless. And you have to make it never die. Even if you reach the awesomeness in your relationship. Okay, well, now you gotta have kids. Or now you gotta open it up and have polyamory. Or now you have to put on seminars and you have to be relationship gurus. You see what I'm saying here? Both of these, without each other, leave us feeling continually dissatisfied. And we're looking for which one is going to make me happy. Do I just accept everything how it is and learn to be happy? Or do I keep striving because I'm in pain and I need to grow, and in order to grow and in order to get out of pain, I need to grow? And my answer is both. We need to find our purpose, and we need to find our satisfaction, and we need to find that we are good enough, right? On the path. And we need to be open to the growth that life is actually asking us to take, the growth that life is actually offering for us, versus thinking we need to be constantly striving for this level up and this constant highlight reel life. A true life of growth is mostly boring to the outside world. It's not very Instagrammable. It's not a highlight reel. Okay? It's slow. It's repetitive. There are highs and lows. There are peak moments and low moments. But ultimately speaking, generally, overarchingly, it's not that interesting. It's slow progress over time. It's getting a tool and using it over and over and over and over and over again. It's realizing your relationship needs work and you just working on your communication every day. And just working on your shit every day. A life of healing your body is just showing up for the tools you have and letting them work over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. That's what a life of growth and expansion and reaching your highest potential actually looks like. Just slowly climbing the mountain. Right? So everyone who's like constantly showing you this like, and then I leveled up to 10K a month, and then I had this ayahuasca retreat, and then I did, and they're constantly, that person is dissatisfied. That person is chasing a high and is never actually finding contentment in their life. Okay? And on the flip side, the person who's telling you to just be okay with everything, to just learn to accept everything, and that happiness comes from complete acceptance of life just how it actually is, and we're not doing anything to change it, that person is disempowered. That person is going to feel like there's probably an element of getting rid of blame and shame through doing that, right? If life is just happening how it is, it's not my fault, it's just for me to accept. That's a good way of saying none of this is my fault, and I don't have any control over it. And so therefore anything bad that happens, anything harmful that happens, anything whatever, it's not my fault. I don't have to take responsibility for it. I don't have to feel bad about it, and we just accept it. And I don't have to fight it. Right? And you see? Both of these sides of the coin are imbalanced. So in the spirituality world, where we're constantly being told that we're supposed to be having these peak moments, and that we're supposed to be driving ourselves to growth, and that we're supposed to be doing better, doing more, achieving more, and it leads us to this place where when we just have a pretty good relationship. And we hit a period where it's not fiery and it's not passionate. We're both kind of going through something, or one partner is going through something, and it's just mundane, kind of boring stuff for a while. We think something's gone wrong. We're like, well, my relationship isn't polarized and I'm not passionate and we're not all of these things, and therefore there must be something wrong. Right? Or we're in our career and we're just coasting. And things are just all right. They're not amazing. There's little challenges, there's little bumps. There's some great days, some days you're not really that into it. And we think, I must not be living my purpose. This must not be it. Right? Our bodies are still kind of sick. We're not absolutely perfect. We still have symptoms, we still have flare-ups, we have stuff that's going on. We're doing our best. We're working it, right? We've really looked at, what do I need? How do I support myself? And this is just what it is right now. The body just is where it is right now. It's not going to heal any faster than this. This is the body we have right now. And we think, this is awful. I can't be in this. I'm not perfect. I'm not healthy. I'm not how I want to be. And therefore, I cannot tolerate this. And that's when we're getting into manufactured discontent. That's manufactured discontent. When we're in a life, number one, that's as good as we can make it right now, right? We literally have shown up. We've done our best. We're doing everything we can right now. That is when we say, okay, where can I start to find from the inside my level of fulfillment, my level of purpose and meaning, where I don't need the after result before I feel like I'm on my path? Where can I start to say, no, this is the path? It's not the highlight reel. It's not the moments we all see on Instagram. The path is, like, right, a long-term relationship. You're going to spend years at a time where it's not the most passionate, amazing, powerful thing in your life. You're just you're best friends. You are lovers, but it's comfortable and it's easy, and or you have your little issues that you're working on, and it's just that for a while. There are going to be times when you're living your perfect purpose in your career and it's just boring and you don't really care that much. Or you're tired, or it is what it is. Or, like I say, your body, you're doing the best you can. And now it's just going to take time. And especially with our trauma work and our healing work and our changing our patterns and our processing and all that stuff. Holy shit, please listen to me. It takes so much time to shift from our traumas and our patterns and our ways of being that were literally taught to us from the moment we were born. We can intellectually understand as much shit as we want. Okay? So many of you are hyper woke. You know all the lingo. You know exactly what your patterns are. You know why it's happening. You know what you really need. You know all these things. And you're upset with yourselves because you're still falling into your anxiety. You're still falling into your self-sabotage. You're still getting into your coping mechanisms. You're still picking a fight with your partners. You're still eating food you know isn't good for you. You're still binging Netflix. So what's wrong with you? You're doing it wrong. You need more. You need the next course. You need the next thing. You need the next session. You need the next... No, you don't. What you need now is just time. Just time. You have it. You have compassion. You have curiosity. You know how to show up for yourself the best you absolutely can right now. And now it's just repetition. Right? Like I always bring it back to the gym metaphor. You figured out your nutrition plan, you figured out your weightlifting plan, you're gonna gain that 50 pounds of muscle and you're gonna be fucking ripped and jacked. Do you know how you get there? You get your plan, you get your tools, and then what? You just show up every day for like 4 years. And you just do your boring ass shit. And all along that path, you are living the purpose of building that muscle and getting ripped and jacked. And it doesn't look like anything, and it's boring, and it's the same stuff. But you're growing a little bit every single day that you go to the gym, every single time you show up. And for a while there, you're gonna have like 6 months where you don't level up in your weights, and your weight doesn't change, and all of these things. But that's still growth, you just can't see it. And then all of a sudden, you level up 15 pounds. Because of all of that work you were doing and everything that you did, you built up to it, and then it flipped over. That's how our growth looks. That's what a life of growth looks like. And at the gym, you're just showing up for the level that you're at until life hands you the opportunity to do something one step further. Right? You're pushing yourself and you're showing up just by going to the gym and doing the program. You have done enough just to show up and be open to it and to put yourself in that position. And then when it's time to lift heavier weights, you don't decide when that happens. You don't make a choice, okay, I'm going to lift 15 more pounds today. Your body decides when that happens. Life decides when that happens. And it's the same with your personal growth and with your expansion and with your healing. You show up, right? So again, it's not you just sit there and wait to manifest your whole new life. No, you show up. You look at the challenges you have in your life. You look at the things you'd like to accomplish. And again, here's another caveat I want to put in this. Are you wanting to achieve what you're wanting to achieve because it actually matters to you? Or are you doing it because you think when you get there, then you will be good enough, then you will be lovable, then you will be worthy, then you will be living, then you will have permission to feel how you want to feel and pursue the things you want to pursue? Are you doing what you're doing, and are you pursuing what you're pursuing because it matters to you? So even if no one ever sees it, no one ever acknowledges you, consensus reality doesn't give a shit, it matters to you. Or are you doing it because you think, when I do it, if I do it, as I do it, when I get there, then I will be good enough, then I will be lovable, then I will have permission, like I say, to live the life I want to live. Because these two things are completely different. Back to the gym metaphor. The person who's in the gym because it matters to them will lose motivation, will lose interest every once in a while, and they will be able to consistently show up because they have a why that's coming from the inside. The person who's doing it because when I get ripped and when I get fit, everyone's going to love me, and then I'll be good enough, and then I'll be allowed to live the life I want to live, that person is going to quit. That person is going to lose motivation. That person is going to always feel like it's not good enough, and they're always going to feel like it's shitty, and they're not going to enjoy the path until they get to the very end, and then they're going to get to the very end and be disappointed because it wasn't real for them. They weren't living their life. They were living their life for someone else. They were living their life for that external validation and approval. And again, I'm not saying we don't need external validation and love and approval ever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you are living your entire life for that, if you really believe you can't have a feeling of goodness, a feeling of purpose, a feeling of living your life and like your life matters, until you are always going to feel dissatisfied. until someone loves you, until someone validates you, until you get to this external goal, you are not good enough, you are not living a purpose, you are not in alignment, you are always going to feel that way. Because your life is now. And again, the person in the gym who's just showing up every single day feels like they're living a purpose every single day. Because every single workout has a purpose. I'm here today. I'm developing it today. I'm doing it today. I'm on my way today. I might be 4 years from my goal, but every single day matters because that's how I get there. And so many of us, again, we don't believe that what we're doing today is it. Right? We're like, well, I don't know if I'm on the path. I don't know if what I'm doing is the right thing. The guy at the gym knows he has a program and it's guaranteed that if he just keeps showing up, he's going to get there. I don't have that. I don't feel that way in my life. I have no idea if what I'm doing is going to get me where I want to go. Again, that's when we decide, this is my life now. And the only thing that is required for a life to be a life of purpose and meaning is for us to say, I'm going to show up for what's happening and I'm going to learn something from it. And I'm going to learn how to be nice to myself while I go through it. That is all that is required to feel like you're a life of purpose. Whatever's happening in your reality, you're going to show up for it, you're going to learn something from it, and you're going to show up for yourself while you're going through it. That is all that is required. Any external thing, anything you become, anything you do, anything you offer, anything you heal, all of that stuff is icing on the cake. That is not your purpose. That is not a life of meaning. Because again, those things, those accomplishments, those achievements, those peak moments are not satisfying. They're fun and they're exciting and they're great and they're yes, okay, yeah, my hard work paid off or whatever. But they are fleeting. They are moments. And then life happens. And then something changes, and then there's a new goal, and there's a new thing, right? When you kind of realize you're never going to get there, instead of being disappointed, you could say, okay, there isn't a thing I'm going to get to that's going to make it so that I'm on purpose, and that is it, and I know that I did it. Because life is always going to keep going. So you're either going to allow yourself to feel like you're on purpose and you're living your life and your life matters and you matter and you're good enough right here, right now along the path, or you're never going to feel that way. It does not matter what you achieve. It does not matter where you get. It doesn't matter how much you heal and how much better you make your life. That will never make you feel like you're on purpose or like you're living a good life. It will bring you pleasure and it'll be fun and it'll be great. But like I say, you might not even be able to enjoy it if you don't know how to enjoy your life on the way there. So this is not to say that you ignore your pain. This is not to say that you don't get upset that you don't have the body you want or you don't have the relationship you want or that things are hard. That's point number 3 of showing up for yourself. You validate yourself, you nourish yourself, you comfort yourself, you have compassion for yourself. Again, you look for, is there something I can be doing? Is there something I need to change? And if the answer again is I don't know, it's probably no. And then you just say, okay, I'm doing everything I can possibly do in this moment. I don't know if it's going to take me where I want to go, but I know that I'm doing everything that I possibly can do in this moment. Because if there was something else I could be doing, I would be doing it. We have to give ourselves that benefit of the doubt. If there was something else you actually could be doing. So again, a lot of us are going to be like, well, I have ideas of things I could be doing. If you could actually do that thing right now, you would be doing it. Maybe that thing is a thing you will start doing in a little while. But right now, if you're not actively able to do it right here, right now, it's not for you. So you're doing everything that you possibly can. You're learning what you can learn from life right here, right now. Slow, the curriculum is slow. You start to embrace that learning from life is not this constant up-leveling of your consciousness 24/7. No, it's that slow, you go to the gym and you lift 15 pounds for 4 months, and then all of a sudden you can lift 20. That's what it looks like. Learning from life is just showing up every single day, same shit today. Okay, what am I learning? Am I doing everything I can be doing? Yes? Good. Third step, nourish myself. Start telling yourself a new story. This is your life. You are doing it. Life is not Instagram. Life is not YouTube. Life is not an inspirational speech. Those moments are great. But that's not what life looks like. Life looks like boring, mundane, repetitive stuff we do over and over and over again. And we look for the little joys in it. We look for the little things that make us feel whole. We look for the little things that we can enjoy. We look for the little things that are going well. We train our minds to focus on the good stuff. We train our minds to focus on how this is my purpose right now. This is my purpose. I am living my purpose. I woke up today. Maybe I stay in bed all day because I'm totally just out of it. So my purpose today is to be nice to myself here in bed all day. And I'm not going to blame myself for this, right? I'm working on no more shame and guilt. I'm healing my childhood trauma a little bit every single day. And I'm going to fall into my old behaviors, and I'm going to do my stuff, and I'm going to witness myself, and I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to slowly be there for myself, and then slowly take new steps when I can, and all of these things. Understanding that healing and changing trauma, time and repetition. It's not a thing. You're not missing something. It's not an intellectual understanding that you're missing. It's not a session that you're missing. It's not a course that you're missing. It's just time. Just like lifting weights is just time. Healing your body is time. Healing your relationships, time. Showing up, am I doing everything I can do? Am I learning what I can learn? And then am I being nice to myself on the path? That is a life of purpose. You are living your purpose right here, right now. Everything life is presenting to you right here, right now, that's boring and repetitive and you don't want to be doing it, that's it. That's your purpose. That's your life. The things you do with it and the stuff we can put on Instagram, that is not your purpose. This is not my purpose. Right? Me doing this, if I relied on this to feel like I was living my life of purpose, well, number one, I would never feel satisfied because my business isn't as big as everyone else's. Right? Like, so many reasons I could look at this and be like, it's not good enough. And therefore, I'm not good enough. And I must not be living my purpose. I'm not on Oprah. And I did that for a while. And it sucked. It fucking sucked. But that is not my purpose. My relationship with my husband is not my purpose. Creating a body that's fully pain-free and illness-free, not my purpose. Those are things I'm working towards. Those are things I'm experiencing in my life. They are a part of the overarching journey that is my life. But I don't need those things to feel like I'm on purpose because I believe I am on purpose every day. When it's a day that I just totally lose it and I'm snappy with Marcus and my body feels like shit and I don't have a live and I didn't really do anything, that's a day of purpose. Just as much as a day where Marcus and I are flying high and my body feels great and I do a live and everything's great and all that's fun. There's no difference between those 2 days in terms of me living my purpose. Because both of those days are just days where I learned something. Days where I experienced stuff and days where I was there for myself. As much as I could be. Purpose, fulfillment, satisfaction doesn't come from the external thing. And you having permission to pursue the things you want to pursue that actually matter to you, and to be satisfied with the life you have right now, knowing there's always going to be more, knowing you're going to take steps, but that doesn't mean you can't be satisfied right now with the life you've lived, with the life you are living, right? Do not let the spirituality, personal growth, self-help world tell you that you have to be constantly striving and pushing and driving for the next thing. Life will present it to you. You don't have to push. You don't have to seek it out. If something matters to you, you will go for it. If something is presented to you, you will deal with it. Other than that, you don't need to be searching. And sometimes, most of the time, life is just mundane. And we find the meaning and the purpose and the value and the specialness in the fact that, holy shit, are we not lucky to be able to experience a mundane life? Like, think about that. Think about all the technological things that have had to happen, all of the systems that had to be built, everything that has to happen for us to experience a normal day. It's mind-boggling. We can absolutely be grateful and be amazed and feel like that was good enough on a mundane day, because the fact that we are where we are, where we can have a mundane day, like I said, is miraculous. And we're completely missing that because none of us had to hunt and gather. None of us had to survive. None of us, we missed all of life that got us to this point. Most of us don't experience the harsh realities that other people on this planet experience. Like, people would kill for our mundane life. And then we have personal growth and self-help and self-improvement telling us we're supposed to be leveling up all the time. No, we're not. Holy shit, we can enjoy. Like, we really need to give ourselves permission to be like, okay, no, this is good enough for now. Maybe this is good enough. Maybe I don't need to strive for the higher thing. And then again, when we have pain in our lives and we have things we want to fix and things we want to heal, this is not about pretending those things don't exist. This is not about telling ourselves we're okay with that stuff when we're not. It's about saying, again, am I doing everything I can possibly do? And if I am, this is still my life. And I still deserve to be able to feel good, even though I'm not totally healed, even though there are some shitty things in my life. That is true. I am working on it. And the rest of the time, I deserve to be able to look for the things that are good. To be able to give myself the permission to experience the stuff that's good enough. To give myself the feeling that I am good enough right now. That I'm doing enough, I am achieving enough, I am valuable, I am worthy, and my life means something. Even if it's not a highlight reel, even if it's not all these amazing things, my life means something and it has purpose right now. So what matters to me? You deserve to be able to feel like you are good enough. And that there is some pleasure in your life, even when your life isn't perfect. And I want you to give that to yourself. It is not true that you cannot be happy until you have healed, until you have transcended, until you get to the perfect thing. And in fact, the more you allow yourself to experience the things that are good, to enjoy the things that are good, to find the purpose and the meaning in what you are experiencing, the better the journey is going to feel, the less desperate you're going to feel to get there. And the more you will be able to enjoy it when and if you do get there. But you deserve to be able to enjoy the life that you have as much as you can. So again, it's not about denying pain. It's not pretending that pain isn't there. It's not about saying things are better than they aren't. It's about saying that there is goodness. There is some level of enough. There is some level of peace. There is some level of enjoyment. as much as you can find it. And like I say, more than that, giving yourself permission to feel like you are living a life of purpose, no matter what your day looks like, is the most powerful and profound thing you will ever do. And this will help you check out of the excess of the never enough. You are living your life of purpose right here, right now. Life is handing you all of your lessons, however you want to think of that. Whatever you're going through right now, this is it. You're showing up, you're doing as best you can, and then you're going to show up for yourself. That is a life of purpose. You're doing it. You're living it. This is it. Even if it's boring for the next 10 years and you have no highlights, it's still a life of purpose. It's still a life of meaning. It's still a life that counts for something. And please don't rob yourself of the ability to enjoy what is good. Do not rob yourself of the ability to enjoy what is good. Do not rob yourself of the ability to see the things that you do enjoy that you can do. Do not rob yourself of the feeling of being on purpose and doing enough every single day. Do not let the self-help, personal growth, spirituality world tell you you have to be constantly striving and constantly achieving and constantly getting and leveling up. That is not reality. Like, I remember when we first moved over to Asia, and we would like call our family, and they'd be like, so what have you guys been doing? And there was like this constant expectation that we were supposed to be like traveling and meeting people and sightseeing and doing all this stuff. And we're like, what? Right? Like, we worked and we made food. Because we live here. We're not traveling. This isn't and there was this kind of like weird, like constant expectation that I was supposed to be like having this highlight reel to tell my family. And it was like, nope, like, what did you do today? I know you didn't do anything. You did your normal thing. You went to work and then you watched Netflix and then you went to bed. Same. Because that's what life looks like. That's life. That's a life of growth. You're showing up for what is. You're doing the best you can. You're learning from it. You're supporting yourself. That will take you. You will achieve your highlight reel. You will achieve your peak moments. But again, those are moments, and those are moments in time. That's not your life. Your life is the day-to-day, mundane, boring, how do you show up for yourself? And if we don't find a way of making that purposeful and meaningful and enjoying the little things that are available for us to enjoy, and if we don't find a way of validating ourselves that we are living our purpose, because this is what it is, we will always feel unsatisfied. And it's manufactured discontent. It's not real discontent. It's not the discontent that comes from actually needing to do something. That's the discontent that comes from not knowing how to make it okay that this is what it is right now. That this is enough. And when it's time to move on, we'll know. It's obvious when it's time to grow. It's obvious when it's time to step into something new. Because we can't not. We get so uncomfortable. So until then, this is it. You're doing it. You're living your purpose. This is it. This is it right now. This is your life of purpose. It is good enough. You don't need any more than this. When it's time for your next tool, when it's time for your next growth step, when it's time for the next thing, it will be obvious. You don't wonder when it's time to grow. You don't wonder when it's time for the next tool. You know, because it feels exciting. You're connected. It feels like you can't not do it. Until then, this is it. And it's good enough. You don't have to push it. You're already awake and aware, right? You're already a person who's thinking about growth. You're already a person who's thinking about wanting to be your higher. That's enough. That's enough to be on the path. You're on it. The fact that you're even here listening to this, you're doing enough. When your next step is available, it will be obvious because it will be the only thing you'll want to do. And until then, this is it. You are living your life of purpose. It is good enough. Don't let anyone tell you you need to be striving for more. Because again, so much of the things that we're told to strive for, again, are just totally unsustainable. The levels of wealth we're being told we're supposed to have, the levels of ecstaticness in our relationships, the level of whatever we're supposed to have in our bodies, it's like not real. It's not realistic. It's not good for the planet. It's excess. It's excessive, and it doesn't make us happier. We're not happier the more things we have. Beyond a certain level of just pretty much basic security, more stuff doesn't make us happy. More spirituality, more is not going to make you happy. Learning to be satisfied with what you have when it is good enough is a huge part of this. Because again, it doesn't mean you'll never grow again. It doesn't mean there's never more. There's always going to be more. There's always going to be growth. Life is always going to hand that to you. So we're constantly looking for the how is this enough right now? How is this enough right now? How is this enough right now? Where can I enjoy where I'm at? Because this is where I'm at. That is what's going to make you feel like you lived a whole life of purpose. Because your life is not a highlight reel. Your life is mostly the in-between. So if you can't feel good there, if you can't feel satisfied and like you're living your life on purpose there, you're never going to feel it. So where can you give yourself permission right here, right now, today, to lean into the fact that you're doing good enough? This is enough for now. Growth is going to happen. You don't have to push for it. You can trust life. You can trust yourself. That finding satisfaction and good enough in what isn't going to stop you from becoming your higher self. It's going to actually make it better. Okay? You're good enough. You're doing enough. You don't need to push it any harder. Where can you show up for you in that way? And again, this is your life. What do you value? What do you want? What are you willing to show up for every single day? Because if you're just doing it because then when I get there I'll feel satisfied, you're never going to feel satisfied. If you don't feel satisfied on the path, getting there isn't going to make you feel any better. You'll have the thing, life will feel good in some ways, but it's not going to feel more purposeful. Purpose and outcome are two different things. You might get an outcome you like that does make you feel better, but it's not going to make you feel purposeful, and it's not going to make you feel like you're doing everything right. That is the work we do every single day. Okay? So let's separate outcome from purpose and fulfillment. Outcome is a thing. We will go after outcome. Yes, that's great. It might make us happier. It might make us whatever. But it doesn't give you purpose, it doesn't give you meaning, and it doesn't give you value. You living your life every single day is what gives you purpose, meaning, and value. You're doing purpose, meaning, and value every single day already. Outcome or no outcome. We go for the outcome because that's life experience. All right? Okay. I love you. You're amazing. You don't need to do anymore. The more will show up when you're ready. You'll do it when you need to. You're good enough. I love you. And I'll see you later. All right. Have a good week. Talk to you later.